This is Rita Dairit and this is Buhay Parang Life, where we discuss issues about this thing called life. Thank you, my dear viewers, for tuning into this episode. I invite you to please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and Facebook page. Buhay Parang Life is part of FaithWatch TV, and I ask you to download the FaithWatch app on your mobile device. We read and value your comments, so please feel free to write down your comments and suggestions below. Uh, we have a very interesting guest. May time difference. She is based in Portugal. She is a journalist based in Portugal, and we know that Portugal was the venue of the recent World Youth Day. So to hear her story, please welcome to Buhay Parang Life, Miss Claire Dominguez. Hello, Claire from Manila.
Hello from Portugal. Thank you. Thanks for having me po.
Oh, very interesting, Claire. You are in Portugal. First, tell us what brought you to Portugal. Bakit ka dyan nakatira?
Because of love.
Of love?
Yes,
Because
yes,
your husband is a Portuguese national.
yes po,
Where did you
yes.
meet him? Were you there or was he here?
We met online actually.
So interesting. So how long have you been married?
We married 2019, so 4 years running now.
4 years. Was it easy for you to you lived in Manila before?
Yes, yes, yes. All my
Uh,
life.
oh, saan ka dito sa Manila, sa Pilipinas?
Mandaluyong po.
Mandaluyong. Okay, so was it easy for you to move from Manila to
Yes, yes,
Portugal?
yes, yes. Yes, it was easy for me in the sense that medyo detached na rin ako sa mga stuff ko. I actually just bought just a few things, and then sometimes I would go back and forth and then bring other things then here.
Okay, oo, kasi so habang magkasama ka, while you were dating, so to speak, so you were already moving. So,
No, 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 no. Pag dating, syempre ano, only after marriage.
all
Dating,
right,
getting to know, yun, syempre online, mostly online,
all
and then
right.
two trips here and there, ganun. Tapos,
How is life in Portugal so far? Alam mo, there was a time I would listen to the presentation of the Golden Visa in Portugal, and I was actually interested for my children. How is life
yeah.
in Portugal so far?
Oh, wow, it's so great. Gusto ko talaga, saya, yeah. I
Masaya
mean,
yan.
it's a very peaceful country, you know. Sabi nila, ano, it's one of the peaceful countries in the world. I think it was at a certain time it ranked third.
Right. I know because I listened to that presentation, which I believe they already closed, no? Parang ayaw daw ng
Yes.
mga ng mga Portuguese na mga locals diyan.
That I'm not sure, but I think maybe saturated na rin yung mga places na yun. But I think you can still avail it in certain places.
In certain,
Maybe
yes, yes.
not the major cities like Porto or Lisbon yata.
All right. So share with us, unang-una, Claire, your life as a Filipina married to a Portuguese national. What were the, cultural shocks that you had to manage?
Ano, paano ba to? I wouldn't say cultural shock, actually, because we have some similar Catholic, kasi there's Catholic, I wouldn't say strong Catholic presence, pero still there's a Catholic presence, okay?
Mm-hmm,
Like,
mm-hmm.
of course, like in any country, there would be like indifferentism. So there's
Right.
the problem of secularization, but still there is a strong, some sort of in certain areas, strong faith pa rin, Catholic faith, sprung here and there. For example, in Fatima, so
Yeah.
there's
Right.
every 13th of the month, you would expect large crowds, especially
Fatima. Kasi
August.
May 13, no? May 13 ang feast day ng Fatima.
Yes,
So
yes,
every month on the 13th, you will expect large crowds there?
yeah, but more on May, August, tsaka October.
Oh,
Kasi from August to October, Our
oo.
Lady showed herself to the three little shepherd children, no, on the 13th. Pero kaya from August to October. Pero kasi August, it's a vacation time here in Portugal, so yeah.
Right.
So
So
that. kasi maraming tao.
Yes, ang daming tao
Only
sa
around
Europe
one
ng
million.
July, August.
Huh?
Maraming tao sa Europe, July, August, no? Because nga
Correct,
bakasyon ng mga taga North America and even
correct, correct.
Europe, I think. So, what are your observations, Claire, of the Portuguese Catholic as compared to the Filipino Catholic here in the Philippines? Kamusta yung observation of the faith?
How do I say this? Um, my observation, my personal observation, okay. Culturally, Catholics the same, but
Uh,
of course, in some ways, indifferent then to the faith. Because of the problem then with Western secularization,
right,
so
right,
they don't go to mass and other religious services regularly. So usually people would go for only baptisms, weddings and funerals. So which sometimes can also happen then sa Philippines. So, but still, I would say there's still strong Catholic influence in Portuguese society and culture. So, one of which is yung Fatima. Of
right.
course, the major Catholic pilgrimage. As I said, yung every 13th, so it's a big deal. During the months of August, May, and October, yon the the number of gatherings would hit up like 1 million during those days. Another thing that I noticed, the Portuguese Catholic would celebrate um, traditions like yung feast days for their patron saints of their localities
O
and
parang,
towns.
parang fiesta natin.
Correct, correct. You would see some processions of the saints, and then you would see some like a festive atmosphere, may mga musical instruments and all that.
Oh,
And then
so
there's like a fair. Yeah. The biggest ones that I have attended is the St. John, although secularized na siya on June.
because o bakit mo nasabing secularized na siya?
Kasi mostly it's like may mga disco na, but still it originated from it's a feast day on St. John, on the eve of St. John
All
in
right. Is
June.
that the June 23, 24?
Correct,
Yung
correct.
annual
And
Bautista, yeah.
it's more festive now than New Year here. Eh.
Really?
Yes, 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 yes. With all the fireworks. So if you Google St. John, yun, so sobrang daming tao. So it's like it's New Year. So that's my first taste then. And yun nga, in almost every town there's a patron saint of their locality. So
Oh, that's good. So parang marami Katoliko. What about the Filipino Catholics there? Kamusta? Are you in a Filipino group? The Filipino
yun
organizations?
nga,
There are a lot of
unfortunately,
Filipinos.
yeah, most of them, most Filipinos, Filipino Catholics are in Lisbon, not much in Porto. As
But
in, uh, I rarely see them here in Porto.
so we all know that the recent World Youth Day was held in Portugal. It was in Lisbon, right?
Correct, it was in Lisbon.
And you were there as a member of the press corps. How did that
Correct.
happen? Of course, you are a journalist, but share with us, the journey to being part of that press corps?
We got accreditation actually, from of course from the organizers,
Mhm.
and before that, I have been writing for Where Peter Is. Actually, I was a volunteer then, a volunteer writer for CBCP. I remember back in 2000, papal visit ni Pope Francis.
Oh, wait, CBCP Manila.
Yes, yes, yes.
So you were here during the papal visit
Correct, correct. I
and
even just a volunteer writer. Yeah.
volunteer writer. Did you get close to him? Oh, I remember that time so much. No, well, we were given access to the families yung in Mall of Asia,
Mm-hmm.
MOA Arena, Festival of Families. So you wrote for CBCP. We are in a CBCP program. Welcome back.
Okay. Yeah, yes, yes. So, no, it's more like they open it up for volunteers during that time, and someone invited me, and I just wrote for them. So that's it.
That
So
was the
it
first
was,
time you saw
but
Pope
but
Francis.
Yeah. So what made me join the press corps this year is because I enjoyed writing about church related activities, uh yung mga ganito. It's I feel like there's a desire in me. Maybe God has placed it in me. So I said, and since my husband is also into that thing, kasi I've been writing for certain Catholic sites, and then when Lisbon came up, yung World Youth Day in Lisbon came up, sabi ko, sige, let's write for, let's see. Kasi we also started a blog, The City and the World. So it's a joint project with my husband. It's
The
a,
city
yeah,
and the world. We're
journalist.
showing the
Yes,
link.
it's a
And
yeah,
also,
journalist site.
what are your share with our viewers, your most memorable experiences as a member of the press corps
Oh,
during the
wow.
World Youth
I
Day?
cannot, it's so overwhelming. I don't know where to begin. Kasi it's like the same exhilarating, festive feeling. Whether I'm a pilgrim or a member of the press corps, you're just in this sea of graces. It's like
Sea of Graces. I
it's
like
like
that.
yes, because like you're reliving that feeling. Because I remember back then, my first World Youth Day was in Spain, 2011. So it's the
Oh, okay.
same feeling.
Let us mention that first. The 2011 Spain, you were a delegate from Manila.
Correct, correct. I was part of a in a group of girls.
So I should say you have a very solid Catholic background because as
Right.
way back 2011. So okay, so yung 2011 muna. What do you remember about? Siyempre, you were much younger then, at least 10 years younger. Were you a
Actually,
student then?
no, no, no. I was well, young
Yeah,
adult.
yeah,
A yuppie.
but
Yeah, yuppie. I don't know exactly, but kung sobrang tagal na. Anyway, I enjoyed it very much because it's my first European trip.
all right.
So yeah, I mean,
Who was the
yeah,
Pope
really,
then? Pope John Paul? Saint John Paul?
oh, Pope
Pope
Benedict the 16th.
Benedict, Pope Benedict. Okay, so ano yung mga experiences mo that you still recall from World Youth Day with Pope Benedict?
Ay, sobrang dami. Ganun din. It's like in a sea of graces. Now, since this is my first time in World Youth Day, it was like a gift for me. I mean, I'm sure everybody felt that, but if it's your first time to be there, and after a series of challenges, because like being a Filipina, you have to apply for visa because we
Right.
don't have access for Schengen space. I mean, long travels, all that. I mean, all those challenges is worthwhile when you're there.
When you're there,
Oo,
uh,
kasi, and yeah, I just had a very strong personal encounter with God during those days. So there's like a seed that was planted then, and it bears some fruit. And it's the same here in World Youth Day Lisbon. So I feel like it's still bearing fruit. So it's that's how it is. So it's like when you're for many people who gets converted in the Catholic faith, sometimes people get converted through through a lecture of a bishop, through a lecture of a cardinal, through someone you talk to, their testimonies, or even just reading some scriptures. You brought the Bible with you. So ganon eh. It's like every moment, or even when you visit some historical pilgrimage sites, you have those little like it's like little graces that
little,
fills you up. Now,
y-
if you don't have you don't have much, it fills you up. Or if you have much, mag-overflow siya and it will just keep coming. So hindi ko siya ma-describe talaga. But
you,
it's like
you
you're on high. That's
you're
it.
on high. You're on high. In spite of me, as an my age, right? I'm a senior, and I have not been to a World
Yeah.
Youth Day. I don't like being in crowds. So me looking from outside, no, looking in the World Youth Day, as I when I see it, like there's just too much people. you actually you actually feel the grace and some conversions while in the sea of
I did.
pilgrims and
Actually, yeah,
all
I
those
find it,
people.
yeah, I sometimes find it weird because I'm actually more of an introverted person.
All
I'm
right.
not extroverted. Yes, yes, yes. But um, I don't know. It's just this every World Youth Day, moment for me is is a lifetime. It stays with you.
It stays with you.
That's
Ah,
actually what my husband says. I remember it stays with you, and I said, I got you on that. Yes, it stays with you. It's a lifetime thing. It's a memory. But maybe nagsegue na tayo sa 2011. But I will tell you one powerful moment for me that really stays with me for in 2011 World
okay.
Youth Day is I remember that um kasi during August in Spain, it never rains, 'di ba? In
Very,
Spain.
very hot.
But then I remember that during vigil, yung vigil,
Yes.
there was a like a 14-minute na rain and a gush of wind. I don't know if you remember during that time it was being reported nga na there was like rain and it was being reported and then left and right there were tents. It's like nagbabaksakan sila and all over.
Nagbabagsakan.
Oo, pero and then it's not, but we were not unfazed. But for some siguro they were like fearful kasi sobrang ang lakas ng ulan.
Pagkasakit, di ba? You will look
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
cover
And I saw Pope Benedict yung they were giving him a very
in a
small
tent.
umbrella, but of
Oh,
course all he's getting wet and all. And then I remember he said, because even as we were getting wet, we were huddled up and we were protecting ourselves under a parang ano siya, blanket. Someone
oh,
was able,
to get the
and
black.
then we heard his voice because we stayed, no, nobody left, and he said, thank you for your strength." So parang feeling ko naiyak ako kasi I feel like it's like a foreshadow, of my life na your life will be like this. There's like a storm and all, but your faith, keep it alive or no, will, you will persevere. So
Mhm.
that kind of moment like hit me.
You
Kasi yun nga, it's like God spoke through that moment for me because I remember it's like Spain doesn't rain and then suddenly this and then I suddenly felt that rain. It's like a grace because even Pope Benedict said this grace was sent by God as a grace. So it's like when he says it, you really felt that it is true. It's not, yeah.
I can really say it stays with you because iba, when you remember, when you look back, as you recount
Yes,
the
yes.
story, there's just a different glow on your face.
Oh
Parang, wow,
yeah,
you're so happy recalling it. Okay,
yeah.
so yan yung 2011. Right now, ano yung parang big aha moment mo as a member of the press corps? Were there major challenges because, well, you are based in Portugal, but you're a Filipina or ano ba, may mga
No,
major
actually, no.
challenges
I mean, of course, I'm a resident, so it's easy for me to
easy
just go by a car. You actually just from north to south of Portugal. There's no like it's not like in the Philippines, diba? You have to fly. No, it's like straight car ka lang, punta ka north and south, straight car. Parang Makati to Alabang lang, ganon.
lang, ang sarap. Alright, so most
Yeah.
memorable experience as a member of the press corps. Did you get up close and personal with
Oh,
Pope?
yes, 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 because we were also designated press pool, so I get a better glimpse of I was able to take pictures properly situated on a sea of pilgrims. So I had been reporting that on Twitter, even dun sa sa mga articles that I submitted reporting for World Youth Day. So this was just from the press corps. I also feel that feeling, but unlike being a member, you have access to information that you would
Correct.
not have.
Yes.
Yeah, correct. Like just off the cuff, no, I hope my stats are correct, but I think it's correct. Like now I know how many confessionals for a specific like there were a sea of 150 confessionals, and then you would hear that, oh, there's like 800 priests. Kasi just like in World Youth Day, you know, when you're a pilgrim, you have an itinerary. Here, we organize our own itinerary so that we could be there, attend security, those briefings, those
Right.
press conferences. Kasi that's where they all give you all the information about, oh, how much is budgeted here, how many were the attendees here.
Yeah.
For example, in the vocational fair, there's always a flow of people coming in. So it's like it filled in the gaps that I was wondering how many people were there when I was a pilgrim. So in those aspects, so
Right, right.
tutuwa lang ako. And also the first-hand experience of interviewing fellow pilgrims.
Okay,
Oh
so who were you?
goodness.
Did you interview? Were you able to encounter delegates from the Philippines or Filipinos coming from
Yes,
other
many,
countries?
many. Yes, many, many. But the most largest kasi delegates is Spain, Portugal, of course, Portugal, Spain, America, tsaka Italy. Pero
Oh.
Philippines, of course, I've seen them.
So, yung mga Filipinos that you encounter, I can imagine if I was a Filipino, a young Filipino delegate and encounter you there, I would be dying with envy because you are with the press corps and you're like there, no? All right. I don't know. Would you be able to share difference between, Pope Benedict's World Youth Day, Pope Francis? I mean, was there anything that you observable difference?
I don't know kasi parang for me, maybe because I'm so busy with all when
In
you're underground, you could
right?
not tell for me I could not tell the difference, pero it's the same thing because here I felt that all the messages are Christocentric, and even the theme of yung World Youth Day is very Marian. So Pope Francis chosen Mary arose and went in haste.
Went in haste, right,
I mean,
right.
also the catechesis here is very intensive. Well, I would
Oh,
say because maybe I don't know it because I already kind of forgot yung catechesis then. But yes, there's catechesis in the previous World Youth Day, but I felt here kasi we just randomly selected via app.
correct.
Also in um you can choose via app. So medyo high tech na rin. And being a member of the press corps, what's the nearest? And you would see
Correct.
the nearest which one is accessible. As in lahat there, it will say, okay, these are the events, cultural events. It's very organized.
Because
So
yeah,
even
so
even Pope Francis, yeah.
good to hear that it was very organized.
But of course, it's not free of flaws. Then I
I
mean,
mean, how many pilgrims, how many delegates?
1.5,
That
1.5
is
million. What
difficult to even imagine.
I mean, I've attended like hundreds nga. There's always something
I know,
wrong. There's no perfect. What more, di ba? 1.5 million. But
right?
still, overall, I would say it's very in that context, organized siya.
Are you
Although,
preparing for Korea?
yes, yes, yes.
Can imagine. I hope many Filipino delegates will attend there
That's
because
what
it's
I'm
very near
hoping.
us.
That's what
Okay.
I'm hoping for.
Your message to the young Filipino Catholics who are still, thinking, or maybe, and even to parents who wouldn't want their children to join because, it can be dangerous being in the 1.5 million people. How can you even fit in a single place? And I can imagine maraming,
Yes, yes.
message.
And Portugal is a very small country. Yes. And then it fits. Yeah. But
Send us
yeah,
send an invitation, or maybe like you know
invitation.
for Korea, for young people who think,
Yeah,
I
definitely.
would I have heard na from a priest na parang wala naman yung World Youth Day, yung mga bata, wala naman nangyayaring conversion.
No, no, I wouldn't say that because um, as a member of the press corps, I attended because there's the one of the events in World Youth Day Lisbon, yung vocational fair,
All
and
right.
they call it the city of joy. So there's a vocational fair. I think there's like over 130 booths all around, and I would see people. I actually reported that, and there's pictures. Many young people going to those booths, and there were different religious orders and all, and, all that, and even mga secular, you would see that there. So just seeing them, and even we interviewed those people in the booths, the nuns and the sisters and the priests, and they said that they actually feel out, they really feel that the faith is alive because the children and the young people are coming to them. And some are actually some I would because I asked randomly, are you interested? Yes, yes, yes. And she's so young, like 16 yata, 17.
So, Claire, final words for our young people, young Catholics out there thinking of World Youth.
Uh, well, for World Youth Day, I encourage everyone to attend it. It's a life-changing moment. It's a life-changing event or in your life in your life, So yeah, um that's all I can say.
Thank you. Thank you, Claire, for granting this interview. Thank you, my dear viewers, for watching this. This is Rita David reminding you today, haba-habaan po ang pasensya sapagkat ang buhay parang life.